Good evening. Welcome to the Legal Affairs Subcommittee meeting. In attendance, myself, Councilor Rossignol as chair, as well as Councilor Higgins, Councilor Melville, Councilor Peach, and sitting in for Councilor Turco will be Councilor Gamache. Is that okay? Other councilors in attendance are Councilor Gould, Councilor Manning Mountain, Councilor McGinn, and Council President Julie Daigle. We have two items on the agenda this evening. Item A is a home rule petition, an act relative to the maintenance of pre-employment physical examination records for public safety personnel in the city of Peabody. Item B will be on behalf of Megan and Michael Lynch of 10 Stevens Street regarding a purchase of city-owned land of Paper Street on Mechanic Street. We'll start with item A. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening to you. Good evening, councilors. Hope everybody's doing well. Nice to be with you. I'm here today to present, as outlined by Mr. Rossignol, item A, a home rule petition, an act relative to the maintenance of pre-employment physical examination records for public safety personnel in the city of Peabody. And this would apply to police officers and firefighters, both of our public safety officers. And this was brought to us, an issue arose, and this is an item we've been working with the fire union. I want to recognize and thank Union President Corey Desmond and the leadership team, along with their attorney. We met on a couple of occasions to review this issue, and this is something that's not just for the city of Peabody, but this is something that unions across the state are working on, and home rule petitions are being filed with a number of cities and towns across the state relative to this specific issue. And what is happening here is PERAC requires for a disability retirement pre-employment physicals from the time that the officer or firefighter started working for the city of Peabody. So those records could go back 20, 30, 40 years. And the fact of the matter is that we do not have some of those records anymore in our files just because of that they were not kept at that time. And again, this goes back 20, 30, 40 years. Just to give you a little bit of background in terms of a disability retirement, I think everybody's familiar with a regular retirement, a superannuation, but there's also a disability retirement, and there's a three-step process to a disability retirement. The first is getting approval from your local retirement board, the City of Peabody Retirement Board. Once that is complete and approved a disability retirement, it goes then to PERAC, the State Retirement Board, and it's a Public Employees Retirement. Don, what's the A stand for? Administration Committee. And City Solicitor Don Kahn is here as well. He was a part of those meetings with the union attorney and union leadership. Once it goes to PERAC, it gets sent to a medical board, a medical review. Independent doctors review the records and look into the matter to determine if it does qualify as a disability. Once that is cleared, then it goes to a third step, which is approval by PERAC itself, the board members themselves. We had a firefighter, and we anticipate others in the future, that was moving forward with the disability retirement, and they got approved at the local level, they got approved by the medical panel, and then it went to PERAC, but they would not approve until they had the pre-employment physicals records. And again, we just do not have those. This was recommended by the union, and we wanted to support our police officers and firefighters to bring this forward. This allows PERAC to receive this in lieu of the pre-employment physical, and allows our firefighters and police officers, when they have a disability retirement issue, to move forward with the process. Again, this was a joint effort by the fire union and the police union, but more the fire union, to try to help some of our firefighters and police officers with this step. This is kind of a new issue, and that's why cities and towns are all dealing with this, and some have already approved it, and some are in the process, or some will be doing it in the future. This very thing, doing this as a home rule petition. So we wanted to move forward. Happy to answer any questions. We do have Don Kahn, our city solicitor, here that can also answer any questions. But this is, I think, a great step in supporting our police and firefighters when unfortunate instances such as a disability retirement happens. Mr. Chairman, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions from the council? Any questions from the rest of the councilors? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the home rule petition and act to the maintenance of pre-employment examination records for the public safety personnel in the city of Peabody as written in Section 1 and Section 2 in Item A, and to send that to the general court for approval.
So moved.
You heard the motion by Councilor Peach. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none. Councilor Gamache, since Councilor Turco was here for the entire presentation, is it okay that he sits in? Thank you. Seeing no further comment, roll call vote.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach.
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr. Mayor.
Council. Thank you.
Second item on the agenda is a petition to purchase city-owned land. Before us is Attorney Kelty. Attorney Kelty, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the Legal Affairs Committee, I represent Megan and Michael Lynch. They reside at 10 Stevens Street. I had prepared a request for a petition to purchase city land. We have, while it's been in committee, I've obtained an appraisal. We were of the opinion that it was of so small a value that we would not require the immediate need for the appraisal. We have done so. Nonetheless, the city assessor has given an indication of tax value, which is pretty minimal. There are some issues to be resolved. I think that is my clients still are willing to go forward, want to go forward. I think the decision for this committee is the manner in which that would occur. Will it go out to RFP? Is there a requirement to do that, et cetera? So I'm happy to answer questions that you may have. My client lives immediately adjacent to this property. They had at one time, this is the very famous Nellie Klotowski's house. There was a garage down this particular paper street. The garage has since been removed. We would like to reconstruct it, but we would only have the ability to do so if we own the land. And at that time, there is another party who lives to the east of Mechanic Street and Vine Street. They appear to be making use of something on the opposite side of the street. They're parking vehicles there. We have no desire to shut off that activity. If we were to acquire the land, we'd be happy to grant an easement for the continued use. And now we await the decision of the Legal Affairs Committee as to what the next steps are. Will the land become available without an RFP, or those decisions are up to you.
Thank you, Attorney Kelty. Any questions from the council? Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate you letting me comment on this. I'm not on the committee, but this property is in Ward 2, and I've got some history here with the applicants. I met with Michael Lynch and Megan Wilkins and their attorney, Attorney Kelty, back in February of this year. As he indicated, they live at 10 Stevens Street, and they are renovating that house. As Attorney Kelty mentioned, this was the house that was the residence of Nellie Kloptowski. She passed away not too long ago. And I had a lot of dealings with Nellie over the years, and I say that in the most positive way. She was a delightful person. But the garage that Attorney Kelty mentioned and is referred to in the application was on parcel 1 that you see in the application. They've got it divided to parcel 1, parcel 2, and I think easement 3. So that garage had been there for a very long time. In fact, I was shown a plan of land that was dated 1914, I believe. Is that correct, Attorney Kelty? That they shared with me, and the garage was present on that plan in 1914. So it was there a very long time. And Nellie had some issues with that garage, which actually she had contacted me about on a couple of occasions, and it required police involvement. So I have a history with the garage, and so does the police department. It was in really rough shape, and as Attorney Kelty said, that garage was torn down. She always represented it as her garage. I believed it was her garage. I never checked to see whose property it was on, but it was in fact on city property. It was her garage, but it was on city property. So it's been torn down now. The applicants want to build a new one. But to their credit, back in February, they made it very clear. They had watched some other council meetings where some applicants had tried to, ask for forgiveness rather than permission, and they learned a valuable lesson from watching that. They were adamant that they wanted to do it properly, and I really applaud them and Attorney Kelty for taking the tack that they did. That's the primary reason for the application. The council received on October 9th a communication from Community Development indicating that there were no departmental objections to selling this property. That was really the only thing that was holding me back from endorsing this. Sometimes there are utility easements, sometimes PMLP might say they have a plan to put some power lines up there, whatever. We've seen a lot of those over the years. There was none of that feedback from the departments, so with that information in October, I went back to the applicants. They confirmed through their attorney that they remain interested in purchasing some or all of the property. So I think Attorney Kelty framed it properly tonight. It's really it's not about. There's no decision tonight whether or not to sell it to this particular applicant. It's the question is whether to deem it excess and to make it available for sale. The applicants were aware through their attorney of their need to pay for an appraisal, and they have indeed pursued the appraisal if they've received it. I haven't seen that yet, Attorney Kelty, but I'm sure you'd be willing to share that with the committee if asked. Sorry?
Yes, I would be more than willing to share it. I didn't know if this was the appropriate time, otherwise.
It may not be. I'm just
Okay.
saying that. I'm just saying that I was confirming with you at the time that the applicants were aware they needed that, as applicants, the process dictated that they would need to pay for appraisal, and it's actually great in my mind that they've actually done that through, I assume, a reputable third party. You had indicated me in an email at one point that it was a company up in Gloucester.
Eastern Appraisal, Peter Lamarca. The first easement 3, he appraised at $4,000. The second lot 1, parcel 1, his appraisal was $4,710, and parcel 2, the one in the rear, which we had mixed ideas about purchasing, but we will follow through and we will be buying all 3. That was 4,800. And he's a professional appraiser and has supplied us with a 49-page analysis.
Great. Thank you, Attorney Kelty. So in aggregate, more than the $5,000 that triggers the need for that. So it seems like that's all in line, but that's also in the area that would trigger, where the process would trigger an RFP. So again, this is not a decision tonight to sell it to a particular applicant. It's a decision as to whether or not the council is deciding to make it available, and then it goes into the hands of community development to deal with it. If there are interested parties, then if there are additional interested parties, I think at that point they're only really contacting the other abutters, and if there are, they would manage an RFP process. If not, then they would go directly. They would try to work something out directly with the applicants. So with that all, just as background on this and how we got to this point, I am supportive of their efforts to pursue the purchase of the city-owned land, and I would obviously defer to the wisdom of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Any further questions, Councilor Turco?
Thank you very much. Through to Councilor Kelty. Jack, what's the easement for? The easement parcel, what's on that easement parcel? Why is there
I
an
think
easement?
when we engaged Eastern Land Survey, we were aware that there is another party using that, and I think that there is no easement there. Mr. Mello identified it because that parcel will require an easement in order to allow our neighbor to keep using it. So it's not per se an easement.
Okay, and then just one thing that confuses me, the second to last page is a quitclaim deed. It looks like one of the parcels was sold to Community Credit Union for $3,000. So, I mean, that's what it says here, so.
I think that was made part of the file, I think, only by way of comparable. We were aware that there was a tiny parcel of land, very long, which runs immediately parallel to our. If you look closely at the plan that we submitted that shows easement 1, parcel 1 and parcel 2, that line between ourselves and there's actually less than a foot of width that runs the entire length that was necessary for community development, Community Credit Union to purchase. So that's where it is.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions from the council? Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for coming back to me. Just as a point of clarification, I think on Councilor Turco's question, I think the easement needed to exist also to allow them to get to that garage when it was there. I believe that was part of, or that's how you explained it to me back in February when we first met. So does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. But you would note that the easement parcel doesn't extend all the way to the front of the garage, so.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I don't, so I guess that's a good, that would trigger a question in my mind. Who broke these up into these three parcels? Was it the applicant or was it Mr. Mello or?
Yeah, Eastern Land Survey did on the basis of our levels of interest. We wanted to take the entire area where the garage was. We knew there was the entryway was being utilized by other people. So as such, I think and we didn't know whether we wanted the one in the back. So I think that Chris identified them sort of to give us, if we didn't want to buy parcel 3, we could take it off our list. So we identified parcels based on kind of the level of interest.
Yeah, if you look at where the line is drawn on that easement 3, it essentially runs to the end of the garage that goes to number 8. So, you know, when you said you would not object to somebody parking there, was it the residents of 8 that are using the parking?
It's the people on the left side.
People on
and
the
we
left
would-
side. So that left side's number 8, and they also have a garage that backs onto Mechanic Street. So that they would have to possess an easement to come across that if your applicant is successful in purchasing the land.
I'm sorry, I'm misspeaking. That garage is owned by Faustino and Maria Mello.
That's my
It's on
point.
their land.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So they would need to come
They own
across
that, but if we were to acquire title to that first easement 3, then we would provide them with an easement. That's correct,
exactly
to
my
get to
point.
their garage.
Yes, thank you. And that's, I believe, the answer to your question, Mr. Turco, Councilor Turco.
Any further questions from any other councilors? Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank Councilor McGinn for the historical update and perspective on that. It was very helpful. And also, I wanted to thank the applicant for playing by the rules. It makes it easier for everybody, and rules are there for a reason. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin. Any further questions from the council? At this point, if there's no objections, I would entertain a motion to formally declare the city-owned parcel, map 75, parcels lot 1, 2, and 3 as surplus, and further refer this matter back to the city clerk, community development, and to complete the process in accordance with motion P666-19, and to follow the chart policy to dispose of requests to sell city-owned land.
So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach.
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Seeing no further motions before us, entertain a motion to adjourn. You heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. We're adjourned.